What's up, movie fans and Netflix bingers? This is the Bros Who Binge podcast. My name is Adam Schubert, and as always, I am joined by Lynden Burton. We are in this crazy world right now, so just trying to make it to some movies. And,
exactly.
Lynden, how are you doing this week?
Look, we're not here to talk about that. If you want to know our thoughts on today, you can find out on the next Bros Who Think podcast. But, Schubert, in all honesty, man, I'm doing really good because we had some big announcements today that got overshadowed by the idiots of the world. So let me start us off. Make sure by the time you hear this, the poll will still be up. There are 12 hours left of the poll. So by the time you guys hear this, it should be like 10 a.m. So you'll have like 1 hour to vote. But the new Run It Back film, we're choosing between the four. Right now, it's looking like it'll be The Godfather. The choices are The Godfather, Good Time, Prisoners, and No Country for Old Men. Sorry, Schubert, Prisoners got third. No Country for Old Men is in second place, and The Godfather's in first. Even with the Facebook and IG votes, Prisoners wouldn't have won. Good Time got like 2 on IG, but The Godfather took a majority of them. So it's looking like we're going to be reviewing The Godfather next.
I just chose a film that is like supposed to be great, but is a little too obscure for people to be like, oh yeah, you guys should review that one.
Don't worry, Schubert. I'm going to make that happen. When we start, because honestly, when we do Denis Villeneuve, which is coming, and I'm going to tell you my hot take of it in a little bit, but when we do Denis Villeneuve, I think we're going to start with Prisoners because I think it would be too obvious to do a rival Blade Runner. We're going to get to those, but I feel like those are milestone films. Also, before I get to my Denis Villeneuve hot take and talk about what I've been watching, the Pitch It opening day match has been set. Mark your calendars, ladies and gentlemen. February 4th. We will give you the time a little bit later as we get closer to the match. But February 4th is opening day for Pitch It season 2021. The opening match is Dan Exclaims. You may know him from his YouTube, Dan Exclaims. He is taking on rapper Hastic, rapper and streamer Hastic. That is the opening match. 2 new competitors to the league, welcoming them to the league. And the headlining match is for the number 1 contender spot. Starting off the year, getting ready for the number 1 contender spot. Well, if Jake wins, he's the number 1 contender. And if Schmidt wins, he has to win one more match to be the number 1 contender. But the headlining match is Jake from Locked On Pelicans, Jake Madison versus Schmidt Dua.
Last year's runner-up.
The In the Know podcast. We got the runner-up versus the conference finals. This is like the NBA, man. When NBA opening day starts off with the runner-up in like...
Isn't it a rematch for them?
Who, them? No. Schmidt battled me.
That's right.
Mm-hmm. It would be a rematch if you battled Jake. So that is the fight card. I'm super excited for this. And you will be able to watch it live. I repeat, you will be able to watch this match Thursday, February the 4th, live at twitch.tv/BrosWhoThink. We're doing the first match live. But if you're not able to catch the opening match live, like a sporting event, you will be able to catch the VOD on YouTube. When we're going to put it out? The next day? Or should we do I feel like we should incentivize people watching the live match, so we should wait like 3 days?
Yeah, probably. I would say at least
a week, maybe 3. Oh yeah, you're gonna
because you want to do it live and then just spend the next day editing it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So you're gonna have to wait at least 2 to 3 days to watch the VOD. But February 4th, watch it live. Me and Schubert are super excited. We're putting in a lot of work to this season. The league is growing. We're going to have at least a 15 to 20-man league this year, at minimum 12. There's some names still coming in, but for the most part, we got people coming from Twitch. We got podcasters. We got rappers. This league is free. We even got an actor. I haven't even told you about that. Shit is litty. Like, I am hyped, man. We got a comedian. It's going down this season. Everybody's coming for the belt. Schmidt Dua is going to be one of the villains of the league. He is taking on this villain persona. Hastic is taking on a villain persona. These people are coming for my belt. But like I told Schmidt, like I told Has, like I told Jake, like I told Dan, I've been telling everybody who's been messaging me. Like Morpheus said, bring it on, baby. Come, I'm the champ. I am the champ, and you guys will see the belt very soon. Actually, when we do the pre-match interviews, because that's something that's happening this year, before every match, to get you hyped for the match, I will be sitting down with every competitor. So I'm gonna be sitting down with Haz. I'm gonna be sitting down with Schmidt. I'm gonna be sitting down with Jake, and you're gonna see the belt on the first one. And you should have that. Let's see. The interviews will begin on. We're gonna start on the interviews actually will start next week, leading up to the fight. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks. 4 weeks away from the fight, and the interviews will begin next week. So I'm super excited about that. Schubert, how do you feel, man? Your game has grown. This baby we've built, and now it's going to be live like a sporting event like we want. This is like the UFC. We have fight cards. We have art. We've been working, man.
Yeah, no, it was definitely something where I thought that in the beginning it's a kind of coming together like I kind of imagined it would.
It was just a segment on this show at first.
Yeah, it was just a segment on the show at first. It was definitely something that I remember thinking it up, and I'm like, well, it blends a little bit of like the stuff that I enjoy watching on YouTube already with what Screen Junkies was doing, and at the time what Collider was doing, and now SEN with their games. And I wanted to come up with a way for us to blend what we do here with other podcasters and have them put in their opinions. And I always think that making pitches is fun because sometimes somebody might hear it and make it happen.
That's a fact. And I just what excites me is just the way we have grown as a league. And really I am so appreciative to the competitors that are in this league for believing in us and for participating in the game show. And I like, even to the point where Jake Madison has made suggestions to make the league better. Schmidt has made suggestions to make the league better. Like, these competitors aren't just players, like they're owners, and they're making suggestions to this league, which I love.
Yeah, I mean, we're kind of coming up with ways to make it better in ways that we never even had thought of before, which is great.
I love the Twitch thing. Got to give credit to Jake Madison, but the Twitch thing I think is going to be amazing for it.
It just makes sense, especially, and at the time when we came up with it, Twitch really, I think it was a thing, but it wasn't really something that we had jumped into.
No, we weren't even in it yet. Like, we are just like, Twitch became a thing for us towards the end of last year.
Yeah, exactly. But it just makes the most sense, especially for
fan
the points that Jake was making, with being able to have some fan engagement along with it, because it is kind of, in the way you do want to hear what the fans have to say about that.
Also,
about the pitches, because the judges' minds are pretty subjective.
Yep. Also, I will be saying, because Dan wanted to know this, being that I am the champion, I'm only going to be judging this opening match. After that, I'm not, honestly, I might not even judge this opening match. I'm probably just hosting, if I'm going to be honest. Because I'm the champion, to be impartial. Schubert can still judge. Ian will be able to judge. We'll have someone else judging, as well as the fan vote. But I will not be judging. I'm just going to be hosting, just to be partial, because I'm the champion, and we don't want to choose, really. I don't want to be involved in choosing who's going to be the number one contender.
I mean, I feel like you could do the undercard.
Yeah, I'll be a part of the undercard for sure, judging, but not the headlining event.
Yeah,
and that means you're not going to be playing this. You're not going to be battling too many people this year. How do you feel about that?
Well, I mean, it just makes me think about through my influences with the Schmodown, Christian Harloff and Mark Ellis were huge players at the beginning of the Schmodown, and now they've really kind of just fallen into the commissioner / announcer roles. So
you are the Dana White of this.
So at the end of the day, it is not. It's a humbling thing. It's at this point, I need to be a part of the behind the scenes of making it grow, and I've definitely had my fair share of moments in the lights where it's just like, I don't know if I can come up with those lightning round responses to some of the more obscure questions as we get deeper into the question base.
And so look, I'm going to be the Jordan as long as I can, and then I'm going to take a back seat and join you. I'm going to battle I think I have to be in the league, but there will be a point in time where when the league gets big enough to where I am comfortable, where we have stars, I'm gonna take a back seat. I'm gonna retire. There will be a retirement coming, but it's not coming this season, and it's not coming next season. I gotta win. I gotta go on. I gotta set some records.
I feel like if we eventually get to go back and do the road that we were trying to do, like go on the road, I feel like that would be a place where you and I could again get back into competing, because we could compete with random fans. Have the fans vote and judge.
Yes, sir. Have clap it up, and then we can't give them all the sauce, but we are so excited for Pitch It to be. And honestly, we're gonna have some pre-recorded matches. Not all of them are gonna be on Twitch this season. Twitch is basically, this is the guinea pig season where we're gonna have major matches on Twitches, tournament matches on Twitches, but we will still have pre-recorded matches on Twitches. But that means that Pitch It will no longer be on Bros Who Binge. It's going to be its own thing. It's going to have its own playlist.
True. That just means that I got to stop being lazy and come up with some discussion topics.
Yeah, you do. Yes, you do, Question Master. You're no longer competing, so you better get to writing. Also, Ian's going to be back. I'm just so excited, man. We're going to announce some of the other competitors soon, but just remember, February 4th, live on twitch.tv/Bros Who Think. Opening day is gonna be a whole festivity. It's exciting. We're gonna have match 1. We're gonna have a halftime break of 10 to 15 minutes where we interview the competitors who just played, and me and Schubert are gonna give our thoughts along as Ian, because I believe Ian's gonna be hosting with us. And then we're gonna have match 2, Jake Madison versus Shamit Dua. Be excited, February 4th. But Schubert, let's what you been watching, man? Because I've been watching Are You the One? Like, I'm not gonna lie,
nice.
I've been watching Are You the One because it's on Netflix. It made me and my girlfriend I watched season 1 and 2.
Okay, yeah. The seasons that aren't on there, like season 3 is a really solid one.
See, and that's what I was about to say. We on Amazon, there's CBS All Access, and we did the 7-day free trial tonight, and we're starting season 3 tonight.
Season 3 is a good one. I'm trying to remember season 1 has like Shanley in it, right?
Yeah.
That's a pretty good season. Dario
from the challenge. Yeah, from the challenge.
Oh, so he's on the challenge?
Yeah, he's on the challenge.
Like, that's what you're going to see. You'll probably see some more people from the challenge.
Season 3.
Like
I saw a couple. That's what I'm excited about. I'm trying to see what else I've been watching. Of course, anime. But in terms of like, I've been watching a lot of movies recently. Honestly, I rewatched Good Time. I watched The French Connection with Gene Hackman. I've been watching, what's that other movie I watched? I watched a comedy. So yeah, I actually been on my movie grind recently. What you been watching?
One thing I really like about HBO Max at the moment is they have the soon to be gone section. The stuff that they're about to ship out. The great movies
that HBO has.
Exactly. So I've been exploring that, and then I've been telling you off air that I watched Enemy of the State with Will Smith. Other than that, The Bachelor was on Monday, so we're talking about that a little later. And I've just been watching a lot of sports at the moment because of football, and things wrapping up with that. But the one thing that I was thinking of when you were doing your Morbius thing and wearing your Dunder Mifflin shirt, did you see the Office deleted scene that has to do with the Matrix?
Because Peacock, man, I don't want to pay. Like, is it free?
Well, I mean, I saw it on Twitter. Like since it went on Peacock, Peacock's been like bringing out more content.
Gotcha.
And so like the scene or whatever is Jim and Pam pretty much try and trick Dwight that he's in the Matrix, and they get like Hank the janitor to be Morbius's Dorpheus is his name. And he's Morbius's cousin. And so it's a really funny scene.
Hell yeah, I'm gonna definitely check that out. I always got to rep DM. Oh, also, I didn't say this on last Bros Who Binge, but I've been meaning to say this for 2 weeks. I've been watching Letterkenny. For those who don't know, Letterkenny is this Canadian comedy that's on Hulu by Jared.
Canadian comedies are great.
Yeah, they are. But I like this more than Trailer Park Boys. And I told Ian that. I don't know if I told you that, but it's you got to just get with the lingo. Once you understand the Canadian slang, it's amazing. But this actor, it's with Jared Kesso, and he writes the show along with another actor called Jacob Tierney. And Jacob Tierney is the main director. It is absolutely hilarious. There's, I believe, 9 seasons out right now. Yeah, there's 9 seasons out on Hulu. The 9th season just came out. It's such easy to watch. There's about 7 episodes a season, maybe like 9, 10 max later down the line. But in the beginning, it's like 6 to 7 episodes. Super easy watch. And the writing in it is phenomenal. It's grade A. The amount of like thought they put behind each bit, you can tell it's very executed very well. It's not just fart and dick jokes. It's like they go through all of the ABCs telling jokes pertaining to each letter. Like they have like multiple storylines that come back and forth throughout each season. Like they do a very good job. So if you haven't watched Letterkenny, I definitely recommend it on Hulu.
Yeah, the Canadian stuff's good. I mean, I've been getting through Schitt's Creek. I haven't finished that yet. It's good.
My girlfriend's sister was begging us to watch Schitt's Creek.
Oh, Schitt's Creek's great.
I need to check it out.
Really intelligent comedy. And then Kim's Convenience with the guy who's in Star Wars and Shang-Chi, the actors who plays Shang-Chi. He's in Kim's Convenience.
Okay.
And that's on Netflix.
I'm going to definitely have to check that out. And also, did you hear of this show called John Wilson?
No.
They basically, it's an HBO thing. And they told me to check it out. It's How To with John Wilson. It's HBO Max exclusive. I heard it's pretty fucking funny.
Yeah, I have heard that name now.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And did you watch the Nicolas Cage Netflix thing?
No, I haven't yet.
Bruh, hilarious. Oh, and that's the other thing I watched. I don't know how our parents generate, like, I don't ever want to listen to an old person's thought on a movie anymore after watching some of their favorite action movies. I watched Con Air yesterday. Bro,
you don't like Con Air?
No, I like it, but like cheesy AF.
Yeah, well, I mean, like that's the era.
But that's why I don't want to listen to our parents' generation about movies. They put up on the pedestal fucking Bloodsport, Con Air. Like, bro, when I watch Con Air and it's Nicolas Cage with his long flowing hair wearing a fucking muscle shirt and there's explosions and he's just
Yeah.
Just was like, yo, this is hilarious. But the cast, let me just say this. The cast of that movie is great. You have Nicolas Cage. You got fucking Ving Rhames. You got
John Malkovich in there. You
got John Malkovich. You got Steve Buscemi. You got Nicolas Cage's twin. If Nicolas Cage is Coke, this guy is Czech or RC Cola or Pepsi. He's in all the rom-coms. He held up the boombox. He looks just like Nick Cage.
Oh, Cusack.
Yeah, John Cusack's in the movie. You have a bunch of character actors in the movie. Dave Chappelle's actually in the movie. Blew my fucking mind. Danny Trejo's in the movie. Con Air, crazy movie. Like, I liked it, but super cheese.
It reminds me of like whenever I think of that era of movies, I think of like Speed.
Yep.
And like
I said, Bloodsport. It's the 80s and 90s. It came out in 97. I think of Sum of All Fears, the Ben Affleck movie. And then there's the Raising the Sun with Connery and freaking what's that with Wesley Snipes? Like that era. And then all the Eddie Murphy, like 48 Hours. Yeah, Rising Sun. That's exactly what it's called. Yeah, man. What a weird era of action movies. That's something.
They're fun.
I'll wait for our discussion segment because we're kind of just going all over the place with discussion
and to tease that discussion segment, we're talking about perfect movies, like what constitutes a perfect movie. I have some lists pulled up of what people would consider a perfect movie, and also what's in the National Film Registry.
I want to ask you what you think about
the
state of action movies as well today. We're going to talk about that shortly.
All right.
But yeah, man, whenever you're ready, I'm ready because we got a lot to discuss.
Yeah, after the long intro, let's go ahead and get into the news. So first is a kind of big story. I'm going to need your help going through it.
I got you.
The rumors were that Michael Keaton is the main Batman of the DCEU.
No, false. Grace Randolph spitting fake news. So basically, what had happened was the Hollywood Reporter did an interview with, I believe, Walter Hamada, who is like the head of Warner Brothers right now, or it was with somebody else, but I believe it's Walter Hamada. And basically, he was talking about Batman, how Robert Pattinson is going to be, for right now, going to be on his Earth, and then there's going to be Batman that takes place with the Flash, and that's Michael Keaton Batman. But people on the internet misinterpreted that he's going to be the main Batman, which is not the case. He's only signed on to do the Flash at this moment. But what I believe is going to happen and what the word on road is, Michael Keaton will come back, but not as the main Batman of the DCEU. He will be the Batman Bruce Wayne for a Batman Beyond movie. Now, the question is Batman Beyond going to be in the Justice League? I do not believe that. I believe he will be a future Earth, and I believe Flashpoint will bring Pattinson into the Justice League. I still believe that. There's no way you can tell me that J.J. Abrams is making his own Superman, which is the rumor right now, and he won't be involved with Pattinson's Batman. There's no way you can't make me believe that. But I do believe Keaton will come back as Bruce, but in a Batman Beyond movie, which I think would be amazing. And I think that's where you can bring some diversity, because I don't want Terry McGinnis to be white or black. I want Terry McGinnis to either be Latino or Asian.
Yeah, I mean, I think that could be a good move. My question about a Batman Beyond movie, is it too niche to put in a theater?
That might be one of those HBO Max movies.
That's what I'm thinking. About last week. Like, it's since it was, a Warner Brothers animated, WB Kids cartoon like Static Shock. I'm thinking that it would follow in similar, plus to the similar spot that the Static Shock's in.
The DC universe showed that the HBO Max thing is successful, and we saw that with Wonder Woman. Also, the generation who grew up on Batman Beyond is now part of the paying movie going audience. They no longer rely on their parents, our generation. That's why I could see this either being in theaters or being on HBO Max. But you make a good point. Just like Static Shock is going to be an HBO Max movie, I could definitely see Batman Beyond being one. But the thing is, does Michael Keaton make it not an HBO Max movie? But then the argument to that is HBO uses stars with everything else. We just saw Gal Gadot on it with Chris Pine. So I think streaming changes. I think we're in a different era. We can no longer think.
Well, I think if it was going to be, if we were talking about Michael Keaton doing Batman Beyond on Netflix, I think it's different than HBO Max at this point. True. I feel like HBO Max carries a little bit of a better prestige at this point. Definitely. I mean, the trailer we're going to talk about is an HBO Max original movie, and it has 2 big stars in it.
Mm-hmm. No, 100%. No, I agree with you. And
the HBO Max just released a movie that had Meryl Streep in the lead role.
That's a fact. And Meryl Streep's in one of their TV shows too. So like you said, I actually, now that you say that, I actually am leaning that way, believing that this will be an HBO Max movie.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's when I heard that news, everyone was leaning towards having a Batman Beyond movie. And I think that it would be perfect, especially in blending the audience that grew up with Batman Beyond and then also the audience that grew up with the Keaton Batman.
Yep, 100%.
So, because there's a lot of people that consider Keaton
the best Batman,
the Keaton movies to be the best Batman. And so like just bringing him back and making it full circle and then putting in the Terry McGinnis element of it all kind of would make it really interesting. The one thing I would like out of that series, out of that movie though, is a Will Friedle cameo. Like he doesn't have to be like a big role, but like I just want him to be like,
you could make Will Friedle like a cop, like one of the cops.
Yeah.
Or if there's like a Joker gang, you could make him like one of the Joker gang members. The interesting thing is who's going to be Will Powers? Who's going to be the Terry McGinnis's Joker, the guy that killed his father?
Depends on
Derek Powers. If they go with that story, I mean, they got to go with that storyline. That's the comic book storyline. That's the animated show story. Like that's the storyline throughout all Batman Beyond media.
Yeah, I just don't know. I feel like you can take a lot of liberties with it at this point, but now that they're kind of committed to putting the old stuff on, maybe they're trying to lead up into that.
And especially with just the direction of DC, because I was telling you about this off air, and just to show the people. DC made everything part of their old canon again. This Scott Snyder Crisis event called Metal, they made all of the things that happened in the 50s, 40s, 70s, 80s, 90s. They made it all canon again, and they're using their whole history. That's why we're able to get things like Future State, the next Batman.
Another question I have regarding Batman Beyond. Wasn't Batman Beyond included in the cartoon Flashpoint movie?
Ooh. I don't know, Schubert. I don't know. He might have made a cameo. Terry McGinnis might have been in it. But I don't know if Batman Beyond, the character, was in it. But Terry might have.
So, like, we're thinking in that process and having Michael Keaton be attached to possibly do a Batman Beyond, I'm thinking that in the Flash movie, we will be taken to that setting. I don't think we'd get a Terry McGinnis because, like, obviously you want to get someone pretty prominent
He
to
won't be
do that role.
You know what they should do? They shouldn't give Michael Keaton the classic Batman suit. They should do, if you remember Batman Beyond's first episode, it starts off with Bruce Wayne being in his 50s, wearing the Terry McGinnis suit and having to like use a gun because he's so old and can't fight anymore. That hasn't put up the mantle. We should see some scene like that, thus being an Easter egg leading to what we're going to get in Batman Beyond.
Like, I have to rewatch that Flashpoint movie, but I swear there was a movie where they included Batman Beyond with like a Justice League. Like, I could have sworn that I'd seen that.
I'm going to go rewatch it. I'm not sure. It might have been the most recent one, but definitely I could see Michael Keaton wearing the Batman Beyond costume in this movie instead of his classic Batman suit. 100%. Also, poor Ben Affleck. Screwed.
Yeah.
Also, a Rocket project is being development. Icon and Rocket. That's also, I could bet, an HBO Max property.
Yeah. I remember seeing the rumors about that too.
Yep.
You think it's going to be a movie or a series?
Depends.
I think it's a series.
I think it depends on the success of Static, and because I believe Static is going to be inside of the universe of Rocket. Like, I think the Milestone universe will be an Earth, like a separate Earth, probably from all the other stuff. And then I'm betting that, and you know how Marvel did Infinity War? We're going to get Crisis on Infinite Earths. We're going to get it movie form with all these HBO Max properties. Rocket could be a TV series, but I think Static will appear. I think they're going to be interchangeable.
Yeah, I can see it. But, still staying within the DC world, Justice League star Ray Fisher says that he will not work on any film associated with DC films. So that means Cyborg is getting written out of the Flash movie.
Sad, man. Just, it's all, that whole situation sucks. Makes me view Jeff Johns a different way. I know we don't talk about politics on this show, but Ray Fisher got done dirty, and Warner Brothers handled the investigation bad. It's a bad look for Warner Brothers, and I feel bad for this guy.
Yeah, and it sucks too because he did a good portrayal of the character.
Best Cyborg we've had live action.
And now we're not going to be able to have Cyborg in live action at least in this capacity. And probably not for a while.
Yeah, we're probably going to get Martian Manhunter as the black. We're definitely getting Jon Stewart now to have a black DC character, but that also makes me think we're going to get Martian Manhunter instead, which I'm not mad about, but that's not the way I wanted to have Martian Manhunter.
No. But yeah, that's definitely the sad news of it all. But we'll see how it all comes together in that Flash movie. The Flash movie is probably one of the biggest superhero movies to date, besides the Spider-Man 3.
I was about to say the Batman Robert Pattinson movie is the movie that's the most exciting comic book property for the next 5 years. But the most important comic book movies are Spider-Man 3 for the multiverse of Marvel and Flash for the multiverse of DC. I think they're the most important movies. I would also argue
that you would have to throw in
Doctor Strange
too.
Spider-Man / Doctor Strange and Flash. Yeah. They're the most important movies setting up the future. But Batman, Robert Pattinson is still the most exciting. But speaking of HBO Max, we got 2 trailers. I'm not starting off with the movie. I'm starting off with the documentary because this gave me Last Dance vibes. And I said this. I said this last week, that HBO Max is putting out the best sports documentaries. I know it used to be ESPN 30 for 30, but we can, me and you both being 30 for 30 fans and sports fans can agree that 30 for 30 went down in a step of quality. The only one
it's hard to say that because like they threw out Last Dance last year, and they had
was Last
Bruce
Dance
Lee.
30 for 31?
It was a 30 for 30.
It was, that's the only good. That's what I'm saying. It was an ESPN film. It was a partnership with Netflix. Like that was. But
the Bruce Lee one was really good last year.
Yeah. I mean, but like, then you get things like Lance Armstrong and the Mark McGuire. Like, I don't know. They're just not the same.
The Mark McGuire one was pretty good, too.
It's just, I'm just saying they're not as good as HBO. Have you seen the one with the HBO one that is about Andre the Giant? Fucking phenomenal. And I don't even like wrestling.
That's an all-timer documentary just in general.
Like, that's what, like, HBO just does a great job. And to have this guy that we're about to discuss, the greatest golfer of all time, and I know people are going to say Jack Nicklaus, but what this guy did for golf, he made golf popular to everybody, and he made people want to play golf who never wanted to play golf. We're talking about Tiger Woods, and the fact that we're getting the rise of Tiger, the fall of Tiger, and the rebirth. that makes me think that like Tiger Woods is like, all right, I'm going to just be open and honest. And if he does that, this documentary will be great. But I think seeing Michael Jordan be honest about his situation and about how he actually honest-ish, but allowing him to portray who he actually is, I think that gave Tiger like, okay, I can be honest-ish.
I think he also found it as a way to help build on his legacy,
on his redemption. Yeah, true.
Because being able, he did. We'll see it in the documentary too, where he did like address the issues that he had come across, but like this gives a new way to be like, okay, well, this is what was going on with me.
Yeah,
this is what was going on with me. This is how it was. Like, you could tell that there's a big slant on the film where like Tiger never asked for this. You got to remember that in the beginning of Tiger's life,
before LeVar Ball.
I mean, he was, forced into this in a way where like, I thought the one thing in the trailer where it was like, yeah, I remember Tiger coming up to me and begging me to talk to his dad about him playing another sport.
Yeah, it's crazy. I honestly, this will be a legacy booster, man. Because like, and another thing is with Jordan, another reason why he couldn't be honest-ish. Another reason why he could was because
I guess it's honest, but it's just but watch, I got his way.
I get what you're saying. The reason why he was honest-ish is because his story wasn't out in the public. He could kind of hide some shit. Whereas Tiger's fall, we know everything. It was TMZ Frontline. So it's best to be out in the open with it and be like, yeah, this happened because we already know, instead of trying to hide it.
Yeah.
So I'm super excited for this. We will definitely be reviewing this like we did Last Dance. The Tiger Woods doc will be one of the biggest documentaries since Last Dance. But
it's on the 10th.
Yep.
It's 2 parts.
I'm excited. We're going to be reviewing this. We got a lot of good HBO Max content we're going to be reviewing. Starting off with this, so we'll have that 1 week, part 2 the next week, and then the next week, the Denzel movie, which, boy, we watched that trailer on the stream this past week. I'm so excited for that Denzel movie. But the next trailer we got is the HBO movie starring Chiwetel Ejiofor and your girl, Anne Hathaway, The Lockdown.
Yeah, this movie seems like it's going to be the best COVID movie that we've had to date.
Well, we don't know that because of the John David Washington. Oh, you said to date.
To date.
Yeah, because this John David Washington Zendaya movie might be great.
Yeah, and I feel like it has similar vibes to that in the first half of the movie. It seems like it's 2 different films. It's
does. The first half of the trailer seemed
quarantine strains the marriage.
Yeah, it seemed like quarantine marriage story. And then the second part was like Mr. and Mrs. Smith, like Ocean's 11, let's rob a bank.
Pretty much. So like, I think it's going to be a roller coaster ride of a movie. And, just like we were talking about with HBO Max, is that they're putting out quality stuff.
Those are 2 big actors.
2 big actors and a movie that seems like it's going to have some, it'll be entertaining, but also like kind of give us a good picture of how we're going to see 2020 painted into movies. Because I mean, that's the one thing that we've got to keep in mind moving forward in entertainment, is that we're going to be having shows and movies based upon actual life. Like that was the thing. How do you feel about that?
Because that was me and my girlfriend, we're watching This Is Us, and we caught up to season 5. And season 5 is 100% the COVID season. And by this time, me and my girlfriend were both like, we just went through 2020. I don't really want to watch this. How do you feel about this going forward? I feel like if certain films do it right, it can work. But how much are we going to want to relive 2020 this soon? That's my question.
Like as it being like a too soon kind of thing, I get that. I think that I was more meaning, so for like, let's say 2025 comes around, and we're in a different situation. If they're going to be playing on things that like happened, they're going to, or they could still be playing into it as like that was a time, or, you could be basing shows that start during that year and then move forward from it. So, I just don't know. Cause I think like, since the story hasn't played out on COVID, then it's very hard to write it about it.
Yeah, that's a fact.
But like some shows are doing it semi-successfully. A lot of the modern cop shows and Grey's Anatomy, like, Law and Order's doing it, The Rookie.
This Is Us.
This Is Us. So a lot of your
ABC
network.
Basically all the networks are doing it.
Yeah.
Minus like FX. Relevant. Shout out FX and HBO and the paid places.
But I mean, like the thing is a lot of people are kind of clamoring for some people to take it on. Like I know the South Park coronavirus episode was,
but see, that's something
very
we wanted.
good.
Yeah, because that's what.
But I would like to see multiple episodes of a season be about that. Sure. And and then like I'm thinking about like comedies that we love, like Dave.
It's Always Sunny needs to do it.
Always Sunny is 100% going to do it.
But that's people that I think should do it. Like my problem is like Law and Order, The Rookie, This Is Us. Like I don't need these serious shows doing it.
With the pushback I have with like a show like Law and Order is that it does it, but it doesn't do it in a way that like it's centric. It just is it's just an element of it, and that makes it feel like it's realistic to the time period.
Got you.
Because like it's one of those things where it's like, well, if this is the reality we're living in, and if this is supposed to be like a modern time of the reality, then like we need to show that that's a thing. And you can also work with it, especially in a Law and Order sort of way, because we were always talking about people being crazy.
Yeah, that's true. Y'all let us know. Tweet at us, AShubert14, LynnBWT. Let us know how you feel about COVID-related movies, COVID-related TV. Do you think it's too soon, or are you okay with it? But next up, we have Alex Garland has his sight on his next feature film. Garland has said his next project, Men, with A24, and has tapped Jesse Buckley and Rory Kinnear to star in the film. The film follows a young woman who goes on a solo vacation to the English countryside after the death of her ex-husband. Schubert, are you excited for this?
It's supposed to be, a sci-fi similar to all Alex Garland things, he's been with A24 before doing Ex Machina.
Interesting that this is his next choice.
I mean, a lot of people really like Devs. Devs was all right. I think what drove Ex Machina at least was the actors behind it, but at that point, those were guys who were on the come up.
That's a fact.
So this could be an opportunity for like Jesse Buckley, who I don't really know much about.
And I don't know much about Rory Kinnear either.
Yeah, to really kind of blast out on the scene. But Alex Garland usually comes up with like some really off the wall, interesting ideas, and A24 is a studio I trust, so I think it'd be something worth looking into. I think I'm going to need a trailer though.
That's a fact. I agree with you.
Yeah. I can't really think of too many A24 movies that I didn't really enjoy.
That's true. Rory Kinnear's an older actor, man. I thought he was a young guy.
But, as I say that there's a lot of A24 movies that I really enjoy, I wouldn't consider them all perfect movies, which we'll get to later.
No. But what you got? What's up next?
Lashana Lynch is set to join the cast of Netflix upcoming adaptation of Matilda. Lynch is going to play Miss Honey, Matilda's good-natured teacher. I've also seen, when I was looking up more information about this portrayal of Matilda, that Ralph Fiennes is supposed to play the evil head mistress, Crutchen.
And it's a musical.
Of the Crutchen Hall Primary School, Miss Trunchbull. Well, Matilda itself. Yeah, it's more so based off the Broadway version.
Yeah. That's what I was seeing.
Yeah. I never really saw this. I mentioned it because I know there's a lot of people who are big fans.
Yeah, Matilda. That wasn't really I was more of a Mary Poppins
I've honestly
guy.
Never seen it. So
my mom used to watch it, but every time she'd watch it, I wouldn't watch it with her. Like I've seen like a couple scenes here or there, but like I'm like you. I haven't seen it. Like I said, I was a Mary Poppins kid.
Yeah, I feel you. But I know there's some people out there that are big Matilda stans, so I thought it was worth mentioning if they're interested in that Netflix stuff. But I feel like Netflix is going to find a way to F it up. Jordan Peele, though, he's currently working on a new project, and of course it's mysteriously under wraps. The reports are now indicating that the horror movie maker is courting two very talented actors for his co-leads. He's apparently looking to reunite with Daniel Kaluuya, and has also reached out to Breaking Bad, Friday Night Lights, and Fargo alum Jesse Plemons.
Also interesting because they are the co-leads along with Lakeith Stanfield in the new Fred Hampton Judas and the Black Messiah movie.
Very true. The idea is for both to star in the untitled project. And and there's several details regarding the main characters that have come to light. The characters include an antagonist, the male villain, a man in his 20s or 50s, as well as Artie, another lead, and Winston Clace, a supporting character. No doubt that Daniel Kaluuya and Jesse Plemons are being courted for the villain and Artie. Artie has been described as a lead Latinx or Native American man in his 20s or early 30s. Artie is an LA native and works in the electronics department of a major retail store. Artie is described as a genuine, insightful, and clutch. Winston Clays, meanwhile, is a supporting character, 55 to 70. This character is open ethnicity. Winston is a fine art photographer whose career-long obsession for perfection has led him to the edge of a dull and unsatisfying end to his career. He radiates succinct, weather-beaten insight of a lovable, gruff, unwilling mentor. Winston is emotionally balanced, but his Achilles heel is his thinly veiled ego.
Interesting. Don't know what
reading those descriptions, it makes it really question like where Jesse Plemons and Daniel Kaluuya fit into it.
Yeah, like are they both? So you said that there's the villain and then there's Artie and then there's the Latinx character. So I'm guessing one of them will be the villain, one of them will be Artie.
Artie is supposed to be the Latinx character, which is what I'm confused about.
Yeah, that's confusing. Okay, well then I guess they're both being courted for the villain.
Possibly. And I feel like the character Winston, even though it says it could be 55 to 70, I could see them putting Jesse Plemons in there and just heavily doing makeup with that.
Yeah, interesting. I don't know. You're right. I don't know from this description which is which, but always interested in see what's the next Jordan Peele movie. So cool. Next up, we got Roku is reportedly in negotiations for a deal to take over the library of the short form streaming content Quibi, which I've been interested in a while. Like, where's all this Quibi content going to go? The deal would give Roku a slate of exclusive programs for its own free-to-watch app called the Roku Channel. The terms would give Roku the rights to Quibi shows that feature big names such as Chrissy Teigen, Anna Kendrick, and Liam Hemsworth. Includes title as Murder House Flip, Most Dangerous Game, and Dummy, according to the report. Like I said, I've been interested to see where all the Quibi content will go, and I think this is good for Roku, especially since it's a free channel, and this will give more people incentive to buy a Roku.
That's the thing about Quibi. Like, when people ask me about it, or people are talking about it, like, "Oh, that was such a flop. It was such a fail." Well, maybe the concept and the idea and have it just be app based was kind of a fail, but the content was not bad. Now, the newest Punk'd was terrible.
It was trash.
But the Chrissy Teigen, Judge Judy was actually pretty funny and entertaining. Murder House Flip is like, your normal house flipping show, but for murder houses, which was an interesting concept that you could really expand on. No, that was a different
show. That was
okay. That show was really good too with I can't remember her name right now.
D.
D from Always Sunny and Will Forte. Will Forte.
Yeah.
And they had a comedy on there that was really funny. Anna Kendrick was doing Dummy, which was about her and her boyfriend's sex doll becoming friends. And Most Dangerous Game was the Liam Hemsworth drama.
I wonder if this means we'll get the Legends of Hidden Temple show that never came out.
Maybe
not. Because did they have to film it?
Yeah, I don't really know if that. I think someone else is heading that up, and you got to remember that Paramount's going to do their own streaming service with Nickelodeon content. So I think that's
more so
would be where that would go.
100%. Well, dope for you, Roku users. I know you're excited for this, Schubert, especially since you loved Quibi. Next up, James Gunn officially confirmed the Suicide Squad will be rated R. Yes. Let me ask you. This is now, even before it was rated R, this was my most anticipated movie of 2020. It was this and Dune. What is your most anticipated movie of 2021? For me, it's Suicide Squad and Dune.
I would have to look at the list. It's just like so iffy at the moment because anticipating movies for this year is just so hard for me because I never know what they're going to do about like pulling it or pushing it back or.
Well, we know this is happening. Warner Brothers putting it on HBO Max. That's happening.
So I guess Suicide Squad would probably be my most anticipated too, because I know for 100% that
That's
like
dropping.
it's going to be seen, it's going to be dropped. They feel confident enough to make a Peacemaker TV series about it.
Yeah, that's my whole thing, Schubert. The fact that we're getting a Peacemaker TV show tells me that this is about to be fucking phenomenal. And they learn from their mistake. You can't do Task Force X where people's heads supposed to blow up without making it rated R.
Yeah,
sorry, kiddies. Sorry. Fuck them kids.
No, I mean, that's exactly what needed to be done. Like, comic book movies that need to be rated R should be rated R. I was looking up like a list of comic book movies that have been rated R that have been successful, like Logan, Deadpool.
Yep.
You know, anything that had to do with Punisher was always rated R because you have to have the violence that those characters, need for their story to be told. So, I mean, like this.
Let me give you some of the major 2021 movies, and you can let me know. There's Kingsman, the reboot. There's Coming to America 2, the Chaos Walking, the Many Saints of Newark, which is the Sopranos movie, the prequel, the Ghostbusters movie, Morbius, No Time to Die, the James Bond, Fast 9, Mortal Kombat, A Quiet Place 2, Black Widow, Kong versus Godzilla, Free Guy, Cruella, The Conjuring 3, there's doing another Project X. Whoa, didn't know that.
I didn't know that either.
Top Gun Maverick, Shang-Chi, Uncharted, Space Jam 2, The Green Knight, Suicide Squad, Hitman's Wife's Bodyguard, which is the second thing to the freaking Ryan Reynolds, Sam Jackson movie, Candyman, Death on the Nile, Dune, Snake Eyes, Eternals, Mission Impossible 7, Spider-Man 3, Matrix 4.
Besides the Marvel stuff, it's a lot of trash.
I think besides like the superhero big things, I think Death on the Nile is going to be great.
Oof. Do?
I think it will be good. I'm a big fan of those. Did you
watch Murder of the Orient Express?
Yes, I liked it. I'm a fan of those murder mystery Kenneth Branagh movies. I liked it. Will it be like the best movie of the year? No, but will it be a solid B film? Yes. That's what I'm not thinking it's going to be an A, but you know what's going to be probably the underdog of the year? Like that's going to be an A film, The Green Knight. I'm so ready to see Dev Patel's The Green Knight.
Yeah, I mean, I think Dev Patel is setting himself up for a big decade.
I want him to be Batman Beyond, but he won't do a comic book film.
No, I want him to be in Star Wars so bad.
He won't do that either.
Why not?
He got a better shot at doing a comic book movie than he does being in Star Wars.
Why can't he be the acolyte, bro? Why not?
I would love it, but ever since Last Airbender, he ain't doing that shit. He said that. He not fucking with for big franchise.
Would he do it for Taika?
Maybe, but that's what I'm saying. Like, come do a superhero movie with James Gunn at DC, bro. Let's go. Shit. I just want to see what your most anticipated movie of 2021 is. Y'all let us know what your most anticipated 2021 is. Tweet at us and let us know. But next up, we got Hulu's adult animated comedy series Solar Opposites will return for the second season in March 26th. Let's go. 2 thumbs up. So I'm excited for that.
Yeah, that was on my 2021 best animated shows nomination list, so I'm definitely excited about it.
And if you haven't seen the awards, go check out the Bros Who Binge Awards out now. For 2020.
Next up, we got Netflix is developing a sequel to Robert Rodriguez's newly released superhero pick, We Can Be Heroes. According to the streamer, the movie, which debuted on Christmas, contributed to a record-breaking viewership during Christmas week. Between December 25th and December 31st, the title recorded first place on the top 10 kids overall list in 88 out of 93 countries and reached the top 10 of all films in all countries across the globe. We Can Be Heroes is also projected to have reached 44 million households in the first 28 days.
Well, I wasn't part of that 44 million. Good for Robert Rodriguez. He showed that he can make family movies with Spy Kids and Shark Boy and Lava Girl, and they connect to people because obviously it worked with us. We love our generation loved those films, and obviously it's working for a new generation because of the stats that you just gave. Good for him. But I'm more excited to see some of his other stuff that's coming down the
Book of Boba Fett.
Yeah, that and what we got in the rumors. And speaking of rumors, here's some of the rumors / small stories. WandaVision will have 9 episodes. That's a small story. We finally have the official summary of Shang-Chi, opening summer 2021. Simu Liu stars as Shang-Chi in Marvel Studios' Shang-Chi, Legend of the Ten Rings. Shang-Chi must confront the past he thought he left behind when he's drawn into the web of the mysterious Ten Rings organization. This sounds like a Raid Yakuza type movie, just under the veil of a Marvel movie, which, yes, give me more of that. Also, it's talks for putting an Akira spinoff, to put the Akira sequel streaming on Disney Plus has now gotten stronger, especially with Robert Rodriguez building a relationship with Disney and producing the Boba Fett spinoff. So we're probably going to get an Akira sequel either on Hulu or Disney Plus. I'm excited for that. I'm also, but
I kind of hope it'll be on Hulu.
Yeah, I think it'll be on Hulu, but
Disney Plus is talking about doing, more adult content.
But you remember what we said? That's going to be for international viewers. It's going to be Disney Plus mature, but for America, it's going to be on Hulu.
Oh, true.
Yep. So that'll be a Hulu release. But I'm excited to hear the Shang-Chi summary. That, like I said, that tells me it's going to be a Yakuza Raid movie that's under the veil of a Marvel movie. Which
now,
I
if
think
you
is going to be the best.
Want to talk about most anticipated Marvel movies for me, of course, Spider-Man is the one.
Oh,
for me,
what you got.
Number 2 is this one.
Yeah, Schubert on stream. I literally ranked it, and I ranked the Spider-Man just because of Daredevil. If Daredevil wasn't in it, Spider-Man would have been 2. But it's Shang-Chi, Black Widow, and then Eternals is last. I don't give a fuck about Eternals.
Yeah, Eternals is definitely last. And Black Widow, I really, really want to see. So it's like a really high 3. But I should have seen it already is my thing. Like at this point, like I'm not going to be hyped for it because I should have seen it a year ago.
Yep, I agree. Just like we weren't hyped for Wonder Woman, but this Shang-Chi has potential to be one of the best Marvel movies of all time.
Maybe. I really like it for Simu Liu. Like I said, he was on Kim's Convenience. He's a really great actor. I think that I'm sad that he's going to be in Marvel over doing a Star Wars deal, but
he could go switch to Star Wars. It's not like
he could down the road. But I think that this is going to be a pretty great movie, and it's a little bit different than the normal Marvel mold. So that's why I'm really excited about it.
That's my bag. And just like Black Panther connected with African Americans, I'm excited to see how the Asian community will respond to getting their superhero movie, which I think will be great for the culture. All that's next is your culture has to get their superhero movie. It's time. And it can't be, I'm sorry, it can't be America Chavez being a side character. If you're going to give Black Panther, if you're going to give Shang-Chi, the Latino community needs a main theatrical release Marvel movie. Do it, Marvel. I don't want to hear about America Chavez being in Young Avengers. That doesn't fucking count.
I don't even know.
I don't know many Marvel Latino characters anyway.
Yeah.
Besides like Jaime Reyes, no, that's Blue Beetle.
That's DC.
Besides Miles Morales,
who is only half.
Yeah, exactly. But hopefully, I believe DC is going to give us a Blue Beetle movie on HBO Max, and I 100% believe it's going to be Jaime Reyes. So the Latinos
like you were saying, how they wanted to build up for a Crisis on Infinite Earths, like for Icon and Static Shock. I feel like Blue Beetle would fit in that.
Yeah, but like that's going to be all of them. Like I just think Icon, Static, Hardwire, and those milestone characters will be their separate Earth. I think Blue Beetle's going to happen whether in the Titans Earth or in like this Flash, whatever's going on with Michael Keaton shit. So I think that's going to happen. But those are all the stories we have for today. Time to get in the segment where we suggest a movie or TV show that is coming out this week for you all to watch. It is called Movie on the Rise. Yes, Schubert, what do you have for us this week?
I'm watching the Tiger Woods documentary.
Yeah.
This is one of a weird weekend because of the extended NFL playoff. They're pretty much going to be playing 3 NFL games all weekend.
And the college football
and the college football stuff as well. So it's going to be very hard for me to pick anything else but that Tiger Woods doc. Definitely going to be sitting down Sunday and watching that when it releases.
I got the new Lupin series. Lupin, we talked about the trailer last week. That's based off of Arsène Lupin and the inspiration for Monkey Punch, and it's basically live act. It's not based off the Lupin TV show. It's based on the actual real person, but it looks like a pretty good series. Also, I have Pieces of a Woman. This is the Vanessa Kirby movie that is supposed to win her the Oscar. So that comes out Thursday, and this Thursday, and Lupin drops tomorrow by the time you guys hear this. Oh, yeah, so both drop tomorrow by the time you guys hear this. So dope. All right.
Yeah, and so the other thing I would say is you should check out The Bachelor because it's back.
Yes, it is.
And that's what we're getting into now.
I almost watched it because we were doing Are You the One? But she was like, let's do season 3 first. But I will watch The Bachelor before the new episode. I heard it was good this week. Luke James.
I almost think, if you're not someone who does, events Bachelor, which, that's what I've come to find is way more fun. Like I did enjoy like binging seasons when I first got into it. But, watching it on a week to week basis and being involved in the Twitter and then like having like, watch parties. It's a way to do it. It's more of it's like watching a sporting event, really.
That's what I'm saying.
And especially with we'll probably won't talk about The Bachelor on a week to week basis, but just because it was the first episode this week, man, it was chaotic. Lynden, a girl walked out, not walked out of the show. Like I'm saying, she walked out of the limo. And she was like, quarantine's been so lonely, so I brought my friend with me, and it was a dildo.
And she showed him that?
Yes, and she walked around, and he just laughed. And then, but later on, how they go up and they're like, oh, can I steal him for a second? Yeah. She tapped the girl on the shoulder with the dildo.
That's funny. I would have, if I was the Bachelor, I'd have been like, you can 100% take my time after tapping this girl with the dildo.
All right, well, spoiler for you, she makes it.
Nah, I know she makes it. That's something that, as a guy, that takes balls to do, and I would think that's funny.
Apparently, I was looking into more about who she was. She's like a famous TikToker, but I don't know anything about that.
Oh, well, I'll let you know next. I will find out by the time the next episode is. But dope, all right, hell yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of some
Can't
other
spoil too much because I got to watch it.
Oh, well, the only other funny thing I can remember is that a girl comes in wearing like goat shoes, goat slippers, like that make her look like she has goat feet.
That's one of the things about The Bachelor. If you don't watch any other episodes, the first episode is always one of the best ones of each season. Bachelor and Bachelorette. Because seeing the people get out of the car and seeing just how fast they fall in love. Like night one, they're like, oh, I can't wait to marry him. He's my love. Just all those lies.
And I don't want to spoil it for you, but the first thing that he says to the group is like something that usually doesn't happen in Bachelor, and it made them swoon so hard.
What'd he say? You could say it.
Well, he was like, I'd like to start off this journey with a prayer.
Oh yeah, I saw that on Twitter. Okay.
Yeah, and they were like,
yeah, I saw some girl on my Snapchat feed crying. I was like, why are you crying, girl? And I hope she does. She might listen to the pod. Sorry if that's the case, but crying over Matt James making people pray. Crazy.
But Bachelor Twitter is pretty hardcore. Bachelorette Twitter was pretty great too. And it's really crazy to see how the Bachelorette, was at that, shitty La Quinta, and then Matt James's Bachelor season's in this glorious resort in the mountains.
Schumer said that shitty La Quinta.
Bro, it was a shitty La Quinta. What else can I say?
That poor, but I don't blame him. That girl didn't. I feel bad for the black girl, but that first girl, she already chose her man, so it didn't matter if there was a La Quinta or not. Fuck that girl.
No, but I mean more so for Tayshia. At that point, I barely even consider that Claire Crawley season.
Who did Tayshia choose?
Tayshia chose this dude who looks like Matthew McConaughey, like a B version Matthew McConaughey.
Are they still together?
They are still together.
Cool.
I think she's moving to New York with him.
Oh, nice. She might be like Rachel Lindsay. Rachel Lindsay's still together with her man.
Yeah.
And I think JoJo's still with Aaron Rodgers'
with
brother.
Jordan Rodgers.
Yeah, good for them. Those are some of the ones that
but there's some that have broken up recently, though. So
and the Are You the One people don't ever last.
No,
the MTV ones never last.
Well, as you've seen with the first 2 seasons, they get down to it, and a lot of them are just okay, well, I'm with this person, but I got to find my
match
for the win.
I'm like, do y'all realize this is why y'all are on that show? Because y'all are all hoes and skanks and man whores. Like, this is why y'all are on this show, because y'all are not good in relationships and not good at taking
like
it
in the
serious.
first season, that dude Adam, who was like playing that Boston girl so hard.
But that's like Leighton in the second season. Leighton was so bad.
Oh, God.
With
terrible.
Jess, God, that shit was ridiculous. But, Curtis, I'm pretty sure you sent me this. Curtis from season 2 ends up marrying John's girl, Jen, like a couple weeks later. He doesn't end up getting with Bree. You remember how they were like, oh, yeah, we're meant for each other, blah, blah, blah. Curtis ends up breaking with Bree like 2 weeks later and then marries Jen a year later. And Jen was scheming on John. Crazy shit.
Yeah, wild. I think it was season 1 again, like that nerdy white dude. He was hilarious. And then
that's season 2 with Brandon, who was all chasing after that blonde-haired surfer girl, and there was always fucking, and people were getting mad, and he was crying on TV. Him and Nathan, fucking nerds.
No. Yeah, I know who you're talking about. The guy who was going after Christina and all that.
Yeah,
he's like,
Brandon.
I'm just so in love with Christina. Like,
she's my choice. I don't care if she's not my match. I don't give a damn.
You can't say that.
You can't say that, Brandon. And they didn't even last past 2 months after the show. Christina was a skank.
No, the season 2, and then you had that chick Ellie who was hilarious.
Oh, Ellie was awesome. I felt so bad for her. Kept going after that man whore Anthony, and I was just like, "Why do you keep going after this dude? This dude sucks." But I was happy that he changed his ways and went after the Asian girl. They were a cute little couple. But Leighton, dude, fuck that dude Leighton. He sucked. I wanted Dario to beat his ass.
Yeah, Dario, doesn't he look like A-Rod though?
Yeah, he does.
Straight up.
he definitely does.
Straight up.
And he got with the Virgin. Crazy.
Yeah, that definitely didn't last.
No, it did not. It lasted, but I will say it lasted until the challenge. They lasted a couple months, but he couldn't take the fact that like she wanted to wait till marriage. He couldn't. Dario couldn't wait. Fuck no. But all right, I asked this on my live stream and on Late Nights with Lynn, and I wanted to ask you, because we were talking about this, who do you think should be the next Marvel Saga villain? And I'm sure we've talked about this on the show before, but like, I think it should be Dr. Doom.
Like, who should be the next Thanos?
Yeah, I think it should be Dr. Doom over Kang the Conqueror. And this is my reason why. You just did this whole big cosmic saga, and the fact is, you need a human villain to make us relate and to make us be like, oh, this is. Like, look at the time we're in. We're in the time of Donald Trump. We're in the time of Jeff Bezos, these big, high-profile businessmen and whatnot. And Louise, shout out to Nola Pels, read it, was like, Dr. Doom's just too fantastical and he doesn't think it could work. I pitched this idea to where Dr. Doom, instead of being the Latverian dictator at first, make him be this big scientist, corporation owner, like Reed Richards' rival, and then he runs for president, he loses, and then make him have to go. He has dual citizenship, and because he loses, he takes his anger out and all of his inventions, and then goes and becomes the Dr. Doom we know and takes over Latveria because the people in Latveria were like, they don't want you. You can come back and take over your home country, and then make it that way to where he's like this evil dictator of the Marvel universe that's setting up plans. But I just feel like if the Avengers need a new leader, and this is kind of how it started. The Avengers need a new leader because Iron Man and Cap aren't there. Black Panther's dead, so we don't, in real life, R.I.P. Chadwick Boseman, so we don't know what they're going to do with Black Panther. And if it's Shuri, she should not lead the Avengers. It's not going to be Captain Marvel because Captain Marvel's out in space doing God knows what.
It's not Spider-Man.
It's not Spider-Man. I don't think it should be Doctor Strange. The leader of the Avengers. I think
he should be like in the top echelon, but
yeah, he should be like the leader. He should be like the right-hand man. But the leader of this should be Reed Richards. Should be Mr. Fantastic. He's the
most logical sense.
He's the smartest member of the MCU, smarter than Tony Stark, smarter than Doctor Strange, smarter than Bruce Banner, smarter than Professor X. He has one of the most brilliant tactician strategy minds, and he's a pretty good fighter with his powers. I think it should be Reed Richards, and then that way you can bring in the Illuminati. You can have Doctor Strange be his right-hand man. You can lead into Namor, and then you can set up the big villain being jealous of the Avengers leader, Reed Richards, have it be Dr. Doom. Or even Galactus.
You know, my thought process moving into this is I feel like Eternals is going to open up things maybe for like a Galactus.
Eternals is giving us X-Men. That's what X-Men and Inhumans.
Well, I mean, that's where I'm thinking, like, I feel like Doctor Doom is going to stick around long enough to see out that X-Men stuff, and like maybe he and Magneto kind of like
I'd be down for that.
may get together. So like at this point, I feel like at least for this 5-year section of Marvel
Might be Kang the Conqueror.
I think it is Kang, just because we're really focused on the multiverse right now.
Well, even more so, it's to get us the Young Avengers. It's to get us the new Avengers, young team. Because you got to think, we got Kate Bishop in Hawkeye. We got the new girl who got recast in Ant-Man. We got, I'm pretty sure America Chavez is going to be in this Falcon Winter Soldier shit. We got Wiccan and Speed that are going to be in WandaVision. And then Iron Lad is the younger version of Kang the Conqueror. That's the new Avengers.
Yeah, so maybe Kang is going to be the overall villain of that.
I feel like he should be a small villain that comes back throughout, but he should not be the Thanos.
It's very difficult for me because I just feel like based upon who the actor is, I don't think that you can just like not use that.
Majors. Yeah, no, that's true. But that's what I'm saying. Use it. Because the fact is that you have Iron Lad gonna be in the young new Avengers. I'm saying Kang can come back multiple times. We can get
Kang has Reed Richards connections.
Exactly. And Kang has not only the storyline with the Young Avengers, but we can eventually get the Tournament of Champions, where they all basically if you remember from Mongol storyline, how he has like the battle world, that's what the Contest of Champions is with Kang the Conqueror. He has one of those where you bring all the Marvel villains and heroes and make them fight. That would be a great movie, but you need more villains for that to happen. So we need to see some more shit. But I just feel like Doctor Doom would be relevant to these times today. And it would be more impactful to me being that he's a human than having some random cosmic alien. Because you have to differentiate it from Thanos, and Kang is very similar to Thanos.
It's hard for me to argue because, when I see that question be posed, the first thing I can think of is Doctor Doom because, that's just the most logical. It just makes the most logical sense.
If not do Magneto, but it needs to be some human. It can't, because anything else is too similar to Thanos. It's just about destroying the Earth. That's Galactus.
I just can't see Magneto being the overall Marvel
and that's
MCU
my thing. That's the reason why I don't think
he's so specific to X-Men.
Yep. Whereas Doctor Doom stretches over multiple.
But I could see him like if we were gonna be in like an Infinity War Endgame kind of movie that he would team up with Doctor Doom. I could see that. But
I could also see him teaming up with Professor X because they're the mutants, and Doom isn't for the mutants.
That's also true.
That's why I don't think it could be Magneto. That's why I think it has to be Doom, because even if you want another side villain, you can get Namor because he's upset at how the Earth has handled the oceans. And Namor would side with Doom, and they would be the two kings of the world trying to take on the Avengers. I just think it should be Doom. I don't think it should be a cosmic entity. But let's do your honor last, just because that's our review of the week.
All right.
Before we get to your topic, because I think yours is a little more fleshed out than mine, what do you think of the action movie genre right now? And I want to do more of a deep dive on this later, where we look at like the different action hero. Because if you look at it down the line, we went from like Jean-Claude Van Damme. Jean-Claude Van Damme had an era. We had the Stallone Schwarzenegger era. We had the Bruce Willis era. We had the Keanu Reeves era. We had the Tom Cruise era. We had the Rock era. We're in an era right now.
Still in the Tom Cruise era, technically.
And we're still in the Rock era, too, technically. Matt Damon had an era with Jason Bourne for a little bit. How do you feel about the action movie genre right now? And who do you feel is like the next star of the act? Like, is there any young guy in any movie you've seen that you think should lead like the action movie genre going forward?
It's hard because like, I feel like, and I know it goes against what you were saying earlier on the show, is that I like those old action movies better than I like newer action movies. I feel like a lot of the newer action movies are just so cheesy. Like in a different way than the cheesy of that. Like when I'm thinking of like action movies, like now I'm thinking of like the shit that came on Netflix, or sometimes they try and take themselves so seriously, or they're just like rehashes of things like, Mission Impossible or James Bond.
See, my type of action movie that I get behind is like James Bourne, like Jason Bourne. Like I like that style of action movie more so.
And I feel like that's been better suited for television.
Or like the Die Hards. Like I like the old school action movie, but just not the ones that were like not Con Air type. Like I'm even cool with like Schwarzenegger's Rambo. I mean, Stallone's Rambo. Like I like that one. I like Die Hard. I think Uma Thurman was a great act with Kill Bill. I think that was a good action movie. I'm just trying to think who is the next.
But then
action.
but that's not really a true
You don't
action
want to count
movie
that?
in my opinion, because
we don't
it's
have to
like
count that.
Tarantino. And so like I'm looking at like popular 2010s action movies.
Let me give you one that takes what you're saying that you love and what I love. John Wick was the perfect combination of both.
John Wick was the best action franchise probably of last decade.
Yeah, for sure.
The popular ones that they have on here, like Angel Has Fallen franchise, and like, and a lot of the stuff now is just falling into the superhero movies. So it's just like it's hard to, Alita was probably another good one that was pretty good.
Do you count Mad Max as an action movie?
Yeah.
Oh, you do? Okay.
But like,
I feel like that's hard. Like an adventure, I feel like that's one of those prestige movies. Like
it's action in a different way.
I don't count Dunkirk as an action movie or Inception, but I will say Tenet's an action movie.
Tenet is an action movie, yeah.
Do you think I don't want this for John David Washington's career.
The Girl in the Spider's Web, like that was an action movie.
I don't want John David Washington to be the next action star because I don't want that for his career, but I think he would be a good action star. You know what I mean? Like he showed in Tenet that he can do the physicality to be a great action star.
Upgrade was one that's not that bad.
Yeah, true.
Baby Driver, I guess, but I don't think that's an action movie.
No, I don't count that. Like Sicario, that was a good one with a female-led person and Benicio del Toro. Like, I'm just ready to see who the next action star will be and where we should go. I just feel we should go more John Wick-esque, more Sicario-esque than Extraction. Like, the Netflix action movies have not been good. And I feel like that's been part of the death of the modern day. That and superhero movies have been the death of the modern day action film.
Yeah, because like I'm looking at like this list
is more Marvel, mostly Marvel shit.
Well, no, that takes out. Well, I mean, they still have a Marvel one in there, but like they have Dredd, which
that was a great action movie,
but it's comic.
Yeah, true.
Snowpiercer, which really wasn't an action movie.
It's a comic too.
Oh well, yeah. Baby Driver, which I don't really feel like is an action movie. Then you have Winter Soldier. And then you have Edge of Tomorrow.
Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. Those are action movies.
Sort of, yeah.
You don't count those? You think those are more dramas?
Like that's the thing about like what constitutes an action movie, or like what do you feel like an action movie is?
Is The Gentleman an action movie?
The Gentleman is not an action movie.
Oh, okay. All right.
I mean, it's just like, looking back at like your Con Air or whatever, and that era where you also had like the Harrison Ford being Jack Ryan, like those are action movies,
Did the action movie move to streaming?
Terminator is an action movie.
Did the action movie move to streaming as television? We got basically Jack Ryan. We got the Mindhunt. Like wait, hold on. I'm about to pull up.
No.
We got Altered Carbon. No, Mindhunter was a bad thing. We got Altered Carbon. We got Jack Ryan. These are series that would have been movies a long time ago.
No, I totally agree with that. That's where I think like the action has gone
to TV.
Yeah, because I feel like it just doing it in the smaller bites just pays better.
Yeah,
it pays off better for them.
Like Narcos, that would have been an action movie. You get freaking Shooter. You get like I'm just looking at all these great series that have come in like the form of action. They've become action TV shows.
Yeah.
But this is something we can look into later down the line. Let's get into your topic. What makes a perfect movie? What'd you get?
What did I get?
No, like what do you? Yeah, what do you have? Is like the qualifications of a perfect movie.
See, I feel like the qualifications for a perfect movie is that it's, it's got good storytelling. It's something that is instantly rewatchable. Something that like doesn't have too many faults, and it can be a franchise, but it doesn't necessarily. It would have to be one of the franchise pillars. And it's got to be, for me, when I think of like perfect movies, I think of a movie that like from start to finish is engaging,
I agree with that.
And it's memorable. It's something you want to like I said, revisit. Some of the lists.
Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say
lists.
Some of the qualifications I have is, like you said, the storytelling has to be great. You have to have me engaged the whole time. And you made me realize this when we were discussing in our group chat, Uncut Gems versus Good Time. Uncut Gems is a good movie, but Good Time is a great movie. The difference is both are thrilling movies and both have good endings and both are a good story. The difference is Good Time, you're on the edge of your seat the entire time, whereas Uncut Gems, you can fall asleep for the first 30 minutes, the first 45 minutes, wake up, catch the rest of the movie, and you really haven't missed anything. That, to me, signifies a good to okay movie versus a great movie. A great movie keeps you on the edge of your seat the entire time. Look at Prisoners. Look at The Godfather. Look at Goodfellas. Look at these movies that Wolf of Wall Street. They keep you on the edge of your seat the whole time and keep you engaged. Even a movie like Marriage Story, which isn't a thrilling movie, it's a movie about relationships. You're locked into Adam Driver and Scarlett Johansson the entire time, trying to see how this relationship will work out. So engagement is, I would say, story, engagement, but then the level of acting is third for me. The level of acting is very important because the difference between me watching Scarlett Johansson and Adam Driver discuss marriage and everything is keeps me way more engaged than watching just some random B romance movie that has poo-poo actors in it. Or you can look at it in terms of TV. When you look at This Is Us compared to things like Grey's Anatomy and these other shows, the reason why This Is Us is so magnetic and so powerful is due to the acting of Sterling K. Brown and due to the acting of some of these Emmy-winning greats. When you have great acting, it takes a movie from good and okay to great. A perfect example of that is Denzel in Training Day. Training Day was supposed to have different actors. At one point, it was supposed to have Gene Hackman. At one point, it was supposed to have Samuel L. Jackson. The reason why Training Day works so well, the plot isn't that great, but what makes Training Day from a okay to good movie to great is Denzel. Good acting can elevate an okay story and make a movie better than what it's supposed to be. So I go story 1, engagement 2, acting 3, and cinematography 4. When you make a beautiful movie, it also helps with keeping me engaged. Taxi Driver. The reason why Martin Scorsese in Taxi Driver is considered such a great film is because he introduced camera angles and looks on film that was beautiful. We get just the dew on Robert De Niro's car, and the way that the dew hits off of the beaming neon lights from the city makes for a beautiful thing. Look at Denis Villeneuve in Blade Runner 2049 when Ryan Gosling's getting out of the car and walking to Dave Bautista. The way you see this wasteland just encapsulates you, but then when you get into the city and you see Ana de Armas as the girl, the pink girl, and she's talking to him, it just engages you. The way you can make something beautiful really changes. Look at Star Wars, for example, and how some of these beautiful shots look. They keep you engaged in the movie. So I go with, like I said, story 1, engagement in the movie 2, acting 3, cinematography 4, and rewatch, or let me not use someone else's term, run it backableness 5. If you can watch a movie multiple times and still either get something from it or don't feel bored, makes you realize that this movie goes from okay to good to great to perfect. That's what makes it, in my opinion, a perfect movie.
I feel one of the things that made me think about this is when I saw like the entries for 2020 for the National Film Registry, and like the movies that are represented on the National Film Registry are some that I would, not all, but some that I would consider to be perfect movies. And that's why they're on the film registry, because they make an impact.
What movies did they say?
Oh, I mean, there's like a shit ton of them.
Oh, were they any, like, what were some of those ones that stood out to you that you were like, oh, this is a perfect movie?
Well, I mean, like, Taxi Driver is on the film registry, Godfather and Godfather 2.
Oh, I was talking about from 2020 that got put on.
Oh, from 2020? Well, they don't have any, like I'm saying, they got inducted in 2020. But
okay.
The most recent one is 2010's Freedom Riders. But so like
That's
the
an
Hurt
interesting
Locker,
choice.
Dark Knight, the most recent ones,
Glad
Brokeback
Dark Knight, but yeah.
Mountain, Shrek, Memento, The
Memento's so
Matrix.
good. Memento's so damn good. And that's the thing for movies like that have a twist in it. Even if your movie has a twist in it, that shows that if the twist doesn't spoil the rewatchableness or the run it backableness, it just shows how good that movie is to where it's more than the twist. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like some other ones on the film registry that stand out are like, Saving Private Ryan, Titanic, LA Confidential, Fargo.
What's a film that you think is a perfect movie?
For me,
I can give like 3. Give us like three or 4.
For me, the some that I say that people that I argue about, and some of them are animated. I like that they put Shrek on the film registry, but I feel more so that Shrek 2 constitutes a perfect movie on the way that it goes. But I also feel like Shrek falls in line with that as well. I think more so Star Wars 4 than 5, based upon it being it's. What I like about considering some movies perfect movies is, especially when you talk about a franchise, is it's something that stands alone, doesn't need any explanation. Where I feel like for as great as Empire Strikes Back is, it's probably the greatest in the franchise. But when it comes to being a perfect movie, The New Hope is one that carries it through the whole way.
I'm not mad at
that.
But
a lot of like the big time movies of our time, like LA Confidential that made the registry, like that's one that I was
going to say that I think LA Confidential is a perfect movie. I think The Dark Knight's a perfect movie. I think funny enough, out of Tarantino's catalog, I think Jackie Brown is a perfect movie. I love Jackie Brown start to finish, and there's not much you could nitpick at it. I also think Inglourious Bastards is a perfect movie. When you look at
some people's lists of what I was looking up, they actually put Reservoir Dogs in there.
Interesting. I'm not mad at that take. From Martin Scorsese's catalog, I would say Wolf of Wall Street is a perfect. Like Wolf of Wall Street is a perfect movie. I would say I think Goodfellas is a perfect movie. I think that but that's what I'm But like out of all of Martin Scorsese films, I think you got to go with Wolf of Wall Street. I think that's undeniable, perfect movie. I think if you look at David Fincher's catalog, just because I'm a big David Fincher guy, I think that out of all his movies, man, it's tough because he has so many good fucking movies. I'm gonna say The Social Network is a perfect movie. And I'm going to say, I think he has 2. I think The Social Network is a perfect movie, and I think Zodiac's a perfect movie. The reason why Zodiac is a perfect movie, even though it's almost 3 hours long, I can rewatch that movie multiple times. The acting's great. The story's great. And to be almost a 3-hour movie, it keeps you engaged the entire time about a killer, and you don't end up knowing who the killer is at the end of the movie. That is phenomenal. And it's just incredible to see how many directors have perfect movies and how many don't.
The one that I think is really interesting, and in some ways I agree, in some ways I disagree, that is on the more recent side that people consider a perfect movie is Mad Max Fury Road.
Ooh, I thought you would think that's a perfect movie.
I do in some ways, and in some ways I don't. Maybe it's probably just that since it's so fresh. Like with movies that are so fresh, I don't necessarily know yet.
The newest one I got is Dark Knight. Dark Knight to me is a perfect movie, and that's one of those ones where it's a franchise. You can watch it by itself, and it stands alone. You don't have to watch Batman Begins to enjoy Dark Knight. You know what I mean? You just know this guy's Batman, and like he's coming in to battle this homicidal maniac. And from start to finish, from that opening bank robbery scene to when Batman's holding his ass over the ledge, it is an amazing start to finish movie.
I also feel like, what constitutes perfect movie is a movie that you can show to anyone and feel confident that they would at least enjoy it.
Is Lion King a perfect movie when it comes to animated?
I would think that Toy Story more so than Lion King is a perfect movie.
Interesting. See, I would flip it, but I do think Toy Story. I think Disney has a couple perfect movies.
Well, I think Lion King's ending flops.
You don't like the ending? I'm not talking about the live action. I'm talking the animated.
I'm talking about in general.
You don't like the ending of them killing Scar?
No. Once they leave Timon and Pumbaa, I'm out.
Oh, you tripping? All right, but I ain't mad at that. That's your opinion. I don't think Shrek's a perfect movie. Even though they haven't.
That's why I'm saying more so Shrek 2 is better than Shrek 1.
But I do agree with you. Toy Story is a even Toy Story 3 could be considered a perfect movie because Toy Story 3 is fucking amazing. And you don't have to watch the first 2 Toy Stories to fall in love with Lotso Bear and to understand the story of leaving your childhood behind. Like all of that's amazing. I'd say Zootopia is pretty close. Zootopia and Inside Out are 2 newer Disney movies that I could put up for perfect movie in a couple years. On
a Disney side, beside, I don't really know about those 2. I would say like probably The Incredibles, the original Incredibles.
You need to watch Zootopia then if you haven't. Zootopia.
I have seen Zootopia. I've seen it.
The story that them talking about classism and racism put in the disguise of a crime by animals, fucking phenomenal. And Inside Out discussing your emotions and feelings, phenomenal, man, phenomenal. Does Marvel have any perfect movies? No.
Marvel does not.
No,
Marvel
not
does
at
not
all.
have any perfect movies.
Not at all. Would you say Logan is a perfect movie?
No. I'd say it's a great movie. I just don't know if it's a perfect movie.
You know which one I think is a perfect movie? No Country for Old Men has to be on that perfect movie category.
It's in some people's lists, yeah.
Yeah.
Are you talking about like for the National Film Registry though?
I'm just talking about for us.
Oh, yeah. No, yeah, it's definitely in that category.
Yeah, No Country for Old Men has to be up in there. I'm trying to think of some of the movies we reviewed on Run It Back. Superbad would be on there.
Yeah, Superbad.
Superbad would be on there. Would you say Scott Pilgrim is, or is that just a cult classic?
I think it's more of a cult classic. Another movie that I think about when I think about perfect movies, I'm disappointed in myself that I didn't say this. I think like probably a movie that is the most perfect movie, hits at everything, is Back to the Future.
Yes.
I think Back to the Future is
that's something movie. We have to do on Run It Back. We have to do that at some point. And shout out to the ladies. I'm going to give a lady comedy that I think is a perfect movie. Bridesmaids. That movie's for everybody, and it's fucking hilarious. Same thing for The Hangover. The first one.
Yeah. So, I mean, there's definitely a lot of things that constitute a perfect movie.
Both of those we need to review.
Ask the fans, what do you think is a perfect movie?
What are some of your categories?
And what makes a perfect movie for you?
Yeah, y'all let us know. So we got 3 things. This one, what are you most excited for in 2021? And then we had another one earlier in the show. But, all right, let's get to your honor. This week was the week of let's see what's going on with the black people. Let's see what's going on with the mafia. We're going to take a step back from the Desiatos, even though they're all still being dummies.
There's a lot of Desiato.
No, there's a lot of Desiato, but we're taking a step back. We don't really see too much of Adam, which I love. And we see more from Michael, I think his name is Michael Desiato. What's the judge's name? I think it's Michael
Desiato.
Yeah. So, man, this episode, we got to see Chet Hanks.
Oh, yeah.
You didn't realize that was old Chet Hanks?
I did not realize that.
Bumbleclot. I was just ready for it. Beato, man. I was ready to see him go, booyaka, booyaka. Arr. You gotta watch the Chet Hanks Jamaican accents videos to understand that reference. But, bro, he was just sitting there like, did you not think his face was weird when he was just, why was he sitting like, he was just looking like fucking Chet Hanks. But this episode, we got the revelation that the war is not happening. The Desire crew tells the mafia, look, Kofi didn't kill him. And he was like, why are you telling me this now? Because y'all blew up this little boy's house. And we don't want no more. We don't want to go
to war.
For no reason.
You killed people that had nothing to do with anything.
Without asking questions. I felt so bad for that little boy. Lost his entire family. Luckily, Big Mo is taking care of him, gave him a nice house. He got his own room. Honestly, he's living better than he was before. Even though he has to be in a gang and he has to do gang activity. Yeah, he got to be a drug dealer. He has a better life than he had before. And he could save up all his drug money and go to college. That's what he needs to do. He needs
The
to get
lady,
close to
though-
Big Mo and let him send him to college.
The lady though is badass.
Yeah, Lil Mo don't have
Like-
shit on Big Mo.
Yeah, the scene where she's like talking to him on the balcony and all that,
And she leaves the money as a
tests
test.
him with the money.
I was like, let's go. And I was so proud of that little kid. I was like, thank you, man. Don't steal Big Mo money because she gonna have you killed. She gonna have you dealt with. Adam, let's get his dumb ass out the way. Eating
Dude,
with the
what the?
you're
what was
banging your
that, dude?
teacher. Why are you eating with the
And hitting
the
on
baker?
her, like hitting on her big time.
Yes, man. I don't get it. I hate him. But I'm so happy that this was only one.
Didn't give his
one
dog
scene.
his meds.
Yeah, and his
Asshole.
dog had big seizures, just like not cool.
Knew exactly where that vet hospital was. Mid-City Vet Hospital. Drove by that all the time. And they filmed right by Little Dizzy's, which was a spot that me and our producer Ian used to hit up all the time for breakfast.
Is that the buffet place y'all told me about?
Yeah, it's the buffet place we told you about. It's a scene where the little boy is talking to the lawyer, and it's like the green building in the background.
Yeah, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Also, I'm trying to think of other important shit that happened. Oh, well, let's get to Michael Desiato's storyline. So in the beginning of the episode, he's getting text messages from this random phone, and he don't know who it is. It's basically like, I know what your son did. I know what y'all did, blah, blah, blah. Sends him a picture of the house. He gets to the house. There's a taping of the newspaper on, and okay, so was it Adam's fault that the dog did that, or did the people who taped the thing on the door, did they do that to the dog?
No, it was. He said it later on, like when he's on the floor with the dog. He's like, "You forgot to give the dog the pills."
Okay, for sure. I'm trying to think of other important shit.
He could have been lying though, so that he didn't know about the break-in.
Yeah, true.
Possible.
True. I'm also trying to think of some other important shit that happened with the gang besides that sit-down meeting. I'm pretty sure that's pretty much everything.
It's pretty much the stuff with the little boy and like the funeral. And
yeah, that's pretty much it. But the main shit is at the end where we see the red dress wedding. And on the Joe Budden podcast, I thought it was funny. They were like, yeah, they're during Mardi Gras and this shit's going on. And I'm like, that's not Mardi Gras. That's the red dress run. So they're doing the red dress run, and dude calls him, was like, I need $200,000 here by 6 o'clock. And he was like, I can't take that much out of the bank. And he goes to the bank, and the bank people are like, this is suspicious. Why does this judge need all this? But I digress. He's just adding more people to question his motives. And then so the episode really ends with him not being able to pay on time, and him trying to figure out.
And then find out that dude's got the video from the guy
gas
that was
station.
behind him in the gas station. Yeah.
Yep, from behind him. And also we find out that Jimmy Baxter goes get to the gas station to get the footage. But my question to you is anything going to be on that footage? Because I thought...
No, they said the footage was erased, but now he knows that this dude, Michael Desiato, whose car was there and erased the footage.
Yep, and also because Kofi didn't kill him. Yep. My question is, do they have the 36-hour puff thing? Do they have the results of the 36-hour DNA test? Because that should confirm. At first, when I was thinking that
everything. Michael was getting those calls, I was like, oh, is this dude on the side? Like,
let's talk about that. Who do you think's blackmailing him?
I still think it might be someone on the side that has to do with it. But like now that I see the evidence that they have, I'm like, this is a random. It could have been the driver.
Okay, so I got 5 guesses. To me, the driver's the most obvious. I don't think it's him. Big Mo is a guess. I think Big Mo is a guess because also I feel like she's trying to blackmail him and then tell also the Baxters about what's going on. So she gets her money and then they kill him and she's left out of it. Because also you got to think, could it be the person in that black Chevrolet? Who was that black Chevrolet driving that saw Adam there both times at the scene of the crime and when he went back to check? I think Big Mo could be the person in the Chevrolet, but also the Chevrolet person is a separate guess of mine. Another guess of mine is the sister of the Baxters using the money to get her own life in the separate because she doesn't like her father, her mother, or her brother, and she's just using Adam to get more evidence. That's like my deep shot guess. And then could it be either the grandma, the lawyer, or the cop? Could it be any of those 3 women?
No.
All right.
I do like your theory about the sister just because it's such a long shot.
Here's my other final one. His best friend, the mayor. blackmailing him, trying to get money.
Maybe.
That's like, if it's a side person, if it's not anybody related to the gang, the black SUV, or the family, if it's someone outside of those two big groups, I don't see it making sense being anybody else besides the best friend. So this could be his reparations or his payment for everything he did and getting everything fucked up.
Yeah, I don't know. I wish he wouldn't have said that there was a Camry out in Algiers, because like then I'd be more inclined to think about it being like the black SUV.
Yeah.
The black SUV is still the big mystery.
That's still the big mystery of who that is. But the sister has to have a reason why it's in. Oh, wait, Camry. I just thought of one. Who drives a Camry? Teacher.
Oh, shit.
The teacher. The teacher that's getting laid. That's my final theory.
Yeah, I mean, she could be in cahoots with some people because she probably has a real boyfriend instead of this little like high school side piece.
That could be the person that's driving behind Adam Desiato the day of.
That would be a small world.
And that would connect it. And she knows, and we haven't seen her in a while. Why haven't we seen her? Also, Adam's getting a new girlfriend. She may be getting jealous. Teacher.
Hey, she's one of the bigger billed actresses on the thing, so she's got to have some kind of role.
She got to have something. I'm leaning my top three now that I'm saying them out loud. Number one, teacher. Number two, the sister Baxter. Number three, the best friend Mayor. And then the Chevrolet, and then Mo being five. I really don't think
Mo could be the Chevrolet.
Yeah, Mo could definitely be the Chevrolet. That's a fact. But I'm leaning towards Isaiah Whitlock Jr., Charlie, or Franny, who is the teacher, who's like the top billed person besides Bryan Cranston. Like, why is she so high billed and like nothing's really been going on with her, you know?
Yeah, at least for now.
At least for now. That's what I'm saying. So I don't know. But this episode, I won't say it was the weakest of the season because it was good, but it might have been the weakest of the season.
It might have been the weakest of the season, but it just set a lot of things up.
Yeah, this was a setup episode.
Yeah, kind of like tied up a lot of
because
question
technically
marks.
The first arc was kind of closed. The beginning arc was closed with Kofi's death. There was no way for Lee to do anything else. The cop couldn't do anything else. The case got closed. But this was the episode to open it back up to be like, nah, Baxters, y'all got the wrong guy. Let's look at Michael Desiato. And honestly,
kind of like sets us in a new motion. If
the Baxters didn't kill Lil Eugene's family, I don't think the Desire crew would have said anything and would have just let Kofi die.
Well, that was her whole point. She was like, that's when he was like, why did you not tell me this? And she's like, well, I didn't have no reason to.
Yep.
Because like Kofi was in jail because they needed to not show their hand that they were in bed with like the cops or whatever. So that, Charlie wouldn't get messed up. So like now that Kofi's gone and then they just took a shot at the family for no reason.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Then they're like, okay, well, we can't have you starting some random war just for no reason.
Yep, exactly. So, but this was a solid episode. Like I said, solid. But I'm excited for next week's. The preview to next week's episode.
The wife
crazy.
Baxter is the worst though because
I
remember her. She's like, it'll never like.
Yeah, this didn't do.
You
didn't change anything. It won't fix the hole in my heart. But damn, do I feel a little bit better? Evil
for killing
bitch.
For killing random people that had nothing to do with anything.
For killing 3 small children and a mom who's probably strung out on drugs who can't take care of her children as it is.
Yeah. Kofi's dad was weird too.
Kofi's dad just left it, but like the woman was strung out. He was like, he got a new job, a new wife, and some new kids. He didn't care. But that deadbeat ass man, he better let Lee do the autopsy, old fucker.
She did. Remember, she was all the brain.
Yeah, true. But that's all we got this week, Shubi. That's all, at least for your honor.
Yeah, that's everything that we got for this week. It's kind of slow at the moment, but we're about to get heated up when we get the Tiger Woods doc.
And we got we got something big for him next week. A big interview.
Yeah, we got a big interview as well. So
yep, we're not gonna announce it because we don't like to announce it until the interviews are complete. But this is gonna happen. Yeah, this is gonna happen. But just in case anything comes up between now and record date, just got to be sure. But next week, you guys will have a big interview plus the Tiger Woods doc part 1. The week after, you'll have Tiger Woods part 2 plus the start of the interviews. Actually, the start of the interviews will take place next week. So next week, Tiger Woods part 2 interview and another interview with the Pitch It shit. The week after, Tiger Woods part 2, another interview with the Pitch It stuff. The week after that, the Denzel movie. And then the week after that, the Pitch It match. So you guys be looking forward. Like I said, February 4th, we are live. Twitch.tv/BrosWhoThink. February 4th, Twitch.tv/BrosWhoThink. Pitch It season, the new Pitch It season of 2021 begins. The opening match is Dan Exclaims from the Dan Exclaims YouTube page versus Hastic. He is a rapper and streamer on Twitch. Dan Exclaims versus Hastic in the headlining match for the number 1 contender spot and to be one of the first people to be able to challenge me in the mid-season in the summer mid-season spectacular tournament, whatever we're calling it, is my boy Jake Madison versus Shamit Dua. Again, February 4th, twitch.tv/BrosWhoThink. Please tune in. Fan participation is required for this new part of Pitch It, so we want you to be there. If you guys have supported us on any part of this journey, I don't ask y'all for much, but I will ask you to pack the room for the Pitch It match. We need y'all to be there. It's very, very important that you guys are there because we're trying to treat this like a live sporting event. And I guarantee you will have fun because me and Schubert are planning on putting on a great show for you guys. So again, February 4th. But you can follow me at LynBWT, follow the Bros Who Think at Bros Who Think. Be sure to check out the most recent episode of the Bros Who Think podcast. There's no new anime talk, but there is a new Run It Back out. Me and Chris will review the legendary cyberpunk anime movie, Akira. Be sure to check that out. And if you haven't checked out the Bros Who Binge Awards from last week, the Anime Talk Awards or the Bros Who Think Awards, all of that is out now on the YouTube page. Be sure to subscribe. And for more information on everything that's dropping, follow us at Bros Who Think on Twitter. But that's all I got, Schubert. Again, Pitch It match, February 4th, twitch.tv, Bros Who Think, Hastic versus Dan Exclaims, and Jake Madison versus Shamit Dua, February 4th. I'm going to say it this much every episode of Bros Who Binge and every episode of Bros Who Think until the match because we really, really want you guys to be there. Like I said, we want to pack out the live stream. We want a full house. We want the most guests we've had in a live stream. Please, if you care about this show, if you care about the game, please be in that live stream February 4th.
All right. Yeah, it's definitely a big, exciting thing that we're doing, getting that rolling, and we need that fan participation. Remember, like, you watch it, you're going to get your chance to voice your opinion.
Yes, you will.
So it's definitely important that you show up. But that's everything that we got for this episode. Be sure to check out everything that Lyndon's been mentioning. Watch some of the stuff that we've been talking about, like the Tiger Woods documentary. And if you haven't started your honor yet, now's the time. We'll be talking about it for 5 more weeks. So, that's everything we got. So for Lyndon Burton, my name is Adam Schubert, and I hope everyone out there stays safe and has a great week. And as always, keep binging.
February 4th, Pitch It match, Jake Madison, Shamit Dua, Hastic, Dan Exclaims, February 4th, twitch.tv/Bros Who Think. Peace.